Do you think that you've ever been fooled by a fake friendship?
Oh, yes. I have got great friends that I know will be there with me. Probably about 5 genuine. I've got loads of friends, I thought. But 5 of them I know will be there till the day I die, that I could phone up. I don't have to see for years, but I can phone them up.
That's a good friend.
Yeah, I can phone them up, they can phone me up. It's like we're never apart. However, 2.5 years ago, I met this girl, and she came into my life like literally, for me, like a breath of fresh air. And I just loved everything about her. I loved her attitude to life, the fact that she had a really hard life, but she never moaned about it. She smiled, and I used to say, how do you stay so positive? And she'd say, I wake up every day and just thank God that I've woken up.
Yeah.
We became really, really, really close. And straight away I thought, how fabulous that I've got to an age, like 50s, where I've thought, I've met someone now that is turned into my best friend. And I just couldn't imagine life without her. And then one day, she up and went, and I never heard or I've spoken to her since.
What do you mean up and went?
She was, we had our ponies. Kira's got a pony and her daughter had a pony.
Yeah.
And they were on the same farm, so we used to see each other all the time, and she helped
and
me out.
And the kids were friends
Kids
as
were
well.
friends. But me and her were friends, really. The kids got on, but me and her were best friends. And she helped me out when I came to work by looking after, you know, the ponies and stuff. And it was just all fabulous, honestly. And the only thing that used to get me was my husband, who's very friendly to everyone.
Yeah.
When she used to come around, I used to think, why is he not being very friendly? You know, he'd be polite, but he wasn't like he is. And I put it down to him being a bit jealous, because I'd found this new girlfriend who I talked about all the time, and oh, we're having a girls' night, you know. And I was like a 10-year-old, and anyway, something happened, and not between us, and she moved away across the road, basically, literally across the road from my house to this other field with a horse. And I texted her and phoned her, and the first 3 texts she just kept making excuses, and then I thought, okay, I won't text or phone, let her do it, and she just never. She
just ghosted you out, because you know
it was instant from that day on. Yeah.
And you didn't have an argument, you didn't have any kind of falling out?
No, we never, ever. The kids had fallen out, people around them had fallen out, but me and her never, ever had a crossword.
So what made you think that, because obviously we're talking about people who you thought were your friends and turned out not to be your friends. Do you think that maybe she's just moved on and something has happened in her life that she doesn't have time for you, or do you actually think that she was a pretend friend all along?
Well, I have to say now that initially I was the one that was looking for all sorts of excuses, you know, maybe something's happened, and I kept texting, listen, if there's a problem, let me help. If I've done something wrong without knowing, let me help. And the only thing she texted back was, there's absolutely nothing wrong, I've just moved to a different yard. And I remember thinking, well, that shouldn't stop you being friends. And anyway, I made excuses, and I still loved her at this point. And then gradually over time you go, no, I think I've been mugged off. And what happened was, genuinely, at the age I was genuinely so hurt and completely heartbroken.
I'm not surprised, I know.
And because you judge your own... You
trust your own judgment.
Well, I trusted my judgment, but instantly it made me think I'm not a great judge. And I said to Ray, why were you never friendly? And he said, because from the first day you brought her home, I knew something wasn't right.
But
it was too intense too quickly for me, for someone you didn't know who came in to be your best friend. And he said, and I suppose that's the pessimist and the optimist thing. Whereas I saw it as, oh, she's great, she's not bothered who I am, and it's all brilliant, and I can be myself. And he was thinking,
But it's almost like you've been wooed, you know, and people think of you've been wooed by a suitor, you know, by a gentleman caller or something like that, but you can't be wooed by a female friend who suddenly comes in and is everything that you've been looking for in a best friend, and then turns out not to be true.
Well, and it's really heartbreaking, and then you want to not, like now when I meet people, I don't want it to affect me. I want to be able to go, listen, you're great. But it has affected me a bit, where I think you're great, but you ain't coming across my threshold. And I don't hate the girl even now. You know, I just think, well, it's how she is and how she wanted to be. But it did, even when we talked about it today, it breaks my heart.
You know. I had a very a long-standing friend, quite a long time, when I was married, and a very pretty, blonde, very pretty girl. And I always think, oh God, she's so gorgeous. And I was quite jealous of her being so beautiful. And we all used to see her. My ex-husband used to see her and the children, and we used to go around to her house, and you know, she'd come to mine, and children would play. And then one day, I got up in the morning, I thought, oh, God, I've left Keely's beautiful little jacket at her house. I'll just nip round at lunchtime, which happened to be near where my husband worked, and get the jacket. And I drove up the street, and to this day I can see it, his car was parked in her drive.
Oh, my God.
So I drove back, and I just sat and waited. And Julie, he came out, stupidly kissed her on the doorstep and got in his car and drove away. As he passed, he went like that and saw me, and he went, it's not what it... I went, oh, but it is. Oh, but it is. Just go. Just go. And I never knew, and we were such friends, and she was a lovely
That's such
girl.
a betrayal.
Yeah,
it is.
but
It's a terrible
I don't
betrayal.
understand it.
If you've enjoyed that, then why not click here for more? And don't forget to subscribe by clicking here so that you never miss out on the best Loose Women moments.